especially when you're coming up as an actor, so much of what we do when we're coming up is we show up in someone else's space, and we're just trying to not ruffle any feathers, not trip over anything, not move the furniture too much, do a good job, and then we leave. And then that show goes on, that movie goes on. This was the first time where every single day for 7 weeks, I had to wake up and I had 10 pages, 14 pages of dialogue that I had to do. And I'm in almost every scene of this movie. And I really got to take him from the moment you meet him to the end of the movie. And he has such an arc across the film. And when I got home, because we filmed it 3 months into the pandemic, we were the second project that SAG allowed to film. And we were in Arkansas, in our little bubble, filming this movie. And when I came out of the bubble 2 months later, it took me a while. It was really the first time when I had to I was like, I'm kind of sad. Like, what if no one ever lets me do that again? I liked it so much. It was such a great feeling to really be able to think, because I think for me, part of my artistry lives in the fear, like all that imposter syndrome that we all have. And I was like, what if I've finally gotten the thing I've always wanted and I'm really bad?
Wow.
So like every night I'd come home and I'd sit in my room and have my dinner and my script and just get to make choices. And I would get to, just fully live in something, which I thought was really, really great.
Yeah. A couple of things right there that I'm just so interested in the idea of taking up space. It sounds like it's a lot of us actors, we come from already a negative or come from a place of a disadvantage that when we get to set or we get to an audition, we are afraid, it sounds like, to take up space, that we're just kind of like, hi, all right, I'm going to do this and leave, see you later, instead of just owning that process. And if we could do that a little more, come to the table with it, own it, and take up space, it feels like it might be to our advantage internally. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, it fully is. I think, I have a friend, DeVere Rogers, who's just a wonderful human being and just coming at you from every different angle. He's like, I'm going to act for you. I'm going to write for you. I'm going to do everything. You will not put this man in a box. And one of the things, being friends with him the last couple of years, I was like, oh, okay, you walk into rooms and you're not afraid to take up space. Doesn't matter what the room is, doesn't matter if it's just for fun or if it's for work. He is going to walk into a room and he is going to be his fullest self immediately. And I'm wired to observe and then sort of blend myself into
like raise your hand. I'm
like, and I do know that I am by nature, I'm shyer than most people would expect. If I know you, then you're like, please shut up. You're talking too much. But if I don't, it's the exact opposite. So it does take me a while to warm up. But even with that girl, Lele, like that came right off of Ghost of the Ozarks. And it was like, oh, I came off of Ghost of the Ozarks and I was like, okay, I'm feeling very confident in myself and in my abilities because someone actually gave me the tools I needed to feel this way. And so I am going to now like walk into spaces and literally just be like, you like me or you don't. And that's just what it is. And it keeps my anxiety level low and it keeps my joy high. And it's been a really fun space. But it started really with DeVere and me sort of going, okay, like we would do self-tapes with each other and I'd be like, oh, well, the breakdown said blah. And he'd be like, I know it said that. I also know that it said to not make it into a thing, but like, we're going to film this in my kitchen and you're going to follow me around. And I was like, oh,
you're breaking the law. Wait, you're breaking the law.
Oh my God. And I'm like, but it's working, and people are really excited because you bring yourself into everything. I tell people all the time, like actors are always trying to locate things like they're all out there. I'm like, everything I need to play a character lives in me. Yeah. I just have to be self-aware enough and brave enough to access those spaces.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a character you don't like,
Oh, okay. We're going to get there.